Damn.
Whew. Hey y'all, what's going on? I hope y'all forgive me for not coming in yesterday. I was tired, extremely tired, okay? So 2 videos today. I know I was doing good. And I was like, well, I blew it. And then I was like, no, part of my rules I can do too. And catch up. And let me say this, thank you to everybody that's doing Jumpstart January. I looked up and I see it everywhere, and I'm so grateful for y'all doing the Jumpstart January with me. I know James is doing his different because he does multiple videos. Like, he kind of put his own spin to it, and I've been enjoying it. The only unfortunate thing is this: is usually when people come up off of the jump start or any of those, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, and it might not be 2 videos for any videos for maybe a week or two or whatever. But we're gonna keep the momentum going, okay? All right, this first one, I'm gonna need to have a talk with y'all about. Actually, this one right here is a 2-parter, and I'll have another video. But I want to talk about these 2 topics. First one being foolish ass Stacey dash, trashy dash, just waste of space dash. So apparently she feels like, and a lot of people have sounded off on her ass. I just read something that Bow Wow posted or whatever. I mean, a lot of people are sounding off on her ass. But it's kind of like, okay, let me ask this question. Do we still consider her a part of the community? Like, it's not even, and I'm not saying this on no light skin shit or nothing like that. I'm saying with all the things that she has said about the black community and her division from that, and the fact that she happens to be one of the biggest coons over on Fox News, like, but is she still a part of our community? Like, does anybody? I would imagine there's some people that may possibly feel the same way she feels. But at any rate, she got on TV to keep herself alive and well, and she interjected herself into the whole shit that's going on with the Oscars and Jada coming out with her video, and then Aunt Viv with the rebuttal video. So now Stacey and Fox found a way to say, well, let's go get this, let's get her. We paying her for something, honey. Other than, let's let her be something other than the chamber wench. And let's get her to get on this, because we know that she'll say anything we wanted to say. But I don't believe that they're telling her to say these things. They know she's going to say it. This is really how this idiot feels. Like, her and Raven Simone should be best friends. Like, they would be so compatible together. But this bitch said, basically, they should do away with BET, any type of black anything, including Black History Month. Is it that, do we want segregation, or are we trying to have integration? And, she just kind of went and got the dictionary and decided to read a couple of little words and find out what they mean, and, come back and say, well, black folks are saying, do you want segregation? I thought you didn't want it. So now you want your own thing or whatever. Why do you deserve that? And then, of course, saying nobody else has a month or nobody else has this. Bitch, are you out your motherfucking mind, bitch? They have the rest of the 11 months and will show out during the whole Black History Month. But, of course, you don't see that because you don't see no wrong in what these certain folks that I'm speaking of do, what they do. You ride along with it. So it's kind of like, get rid of that. We wrong, for having that or whatever. And part of me just wants to roast her ass, but she's just not worthy of a roast, honey. I've seen so many people roast her, and when I tell you that the librarian roasted the dog shit out of her part 2, was all the roasting she needed. But really, she just, to me, is not worthy of a roasting. You know what I mean? Like, and then I lightweight. I'm like, Lord, should I feel sorry for her? Like, is she totally detached from the black side of us, is there not 1%? Because, girl, I will implement this 1% because 1%, just one measly percent of black makes you 100% black. You understand? According to the folks that you be bootlicking, honey, however you think they might see you, and they may be going, bitch, they ain't think, look, you just a stupid ass pawn. Like, oh God. Oh my God, she's just so not. Ugh. And I don't know, should I feel sorry for her? Do y'all believe she really feels this way? Like, or is she just doing this just to be on the news? Like, because I can't get a beat on it. I think that this is really how the bitch feels. Like, I think this is really what she thinks. I just think that this is what she thinks, and it just blows my mind. And it's like, so you don't see anything wrong with it? What you said and other things you said in the past, nothing. Child, I can't. It reminds me of that motherfucking movie Queen. Remember when Halle Berry, I believe it was Queen, Halle Berry and the other chick who played on Sparkle, how everything was, they were passable. And this and that and other. And Halle got to feeling herself, her character, and was thinking that guy was going to marry her. He let her know real motherfucking quick, bitch, you cute and gorgeous and all that, bitch, but I could never. And she had been passing. And once he found out that she, was black or whatever, and old girl was like, you going too far with this. She ended up in a motherfucking barn stable with pigs eating slop. Them same sisters that she was turning her head to and all of that, which were the darker sisters that worked out, of course, in the field. Y'all know how it go. She was so hungry. She said, I'm hungry. And she was hollering and this and that and other. They threw that motherfucking food in that pen to her ass. Remembering how she was primed and prepped up there as she was looking down at them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I really think that she has this mindset. Like, really has this mindset. And here's the funny thing, y'all. Like, growing up, like, of course you knew the light. You knew light and dark, but I've taken more notice of this whole light sister and dark sister thing since I've been on YouTube later on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was coming up, I guess I never really paid attention to that because, it was beautiful, lighter skin, dark skin. As far as I was concerned, my mother, and my family always made sure because you darker, that means you're not beautiful. Some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in the world have been darker skinned sisters with this beautiful, flawless skin and all of that. And I never really took notice of that shit. My nose is just itching. I never took notice of that shit until just really how bad and how deep rooted that shit is. You know what I mean? And then that's what really took me to the whole thing of, remember when that sorority shit was on? And I was like, I'm just not partaking in that shit because I know what that shit's rooted in. It's rooted in that paper bag shit. And it's also, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, in my opinion, it's also rooted in ritualistic ass shit that, I deem to be, I don't want no parts of it. Do what you do, but I don't want no parts of it. It really made me go back to when, what was it? What is that? What is the movie? And I drew a blank. Spike Lee had and the Doing the Button, all of that, where they had the lighter skin sister and dark. That whole movie was based upon that. And yes, I watched it and was coming up then, but it's just like I guess didn't really notice how bad that was. In hindsight, I'm like, okay. And it just blows me away. Because I think there are beautiful light-skinned sisters, dark-skinned sisters, medium sisters, all of that. Keyword being sisters. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... And I'm wondering, like, why is it always, which there are some ignorant ass, darker skinned Republicans that are crazy as hell too, but the ones that will stand out there and go against us the most in this type of setting is always somebody that looks like herself. And that leads me to, because whether people want to own up to it or not, you know, speaking to the darker skinned sisters or whatever, a lot of time lighter skinned sisters have been treated bad just the same. You know, the whole argument is who did what worse. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe the bitch is like that because of that. Maybe she's had a horrible experience with black, you know what I'm saying, just coming up or whatever. I just don't know. And for the bitch to say, that whole shit about BET and all this and that and other, and I was on Facebook having a conversation, and who was it? Child, y'all, Grumpy Poodle. Y'all know I always puppy. I was on Facebook having a conversation with him, and he was saying why she's talking about this whole thing with BET. She was okay with it when she was in the video, and she was okay with it when Damon Dash was all up and through. Like, can you even take this bitch seriously? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I do know one thing, and again, let me reiterate this. I think light-skinned sisters, medium, dark-skinned sisters, whatever, are beautiful regardless. But see, that's the agenda. To make these sections of sex to dispute with each other while they over here doing some other shit, deflecting from what they doing. Let them argue with each other, and let the women and the black women and the black men argue. Let this, you know what I'm saying, when they can't see what we doing over here. Like, wise the fuck up. Just wise the fuck up. Like, I just don't get it. And I do have to say this because I have been the main one to be like, I'm not, the EBT Awards gets on my nerves, but there was one thing that I would say in my own comments as I talked about the Oscars that made a whole lot of sense, and I'm appreciative of the comment, was saying that we have to, you know, a lot of people feel like, why the fuck do y'all want white folks validation? I don't know that it's the validation. It's just the fairness of it. It's just annoying. You know what I mean? I get that it's some old ass, probably fossils that are doing this voting, this and that and other, you know. And, you know, just to add appease, I think one of the head of one committee or whatever has to do with the Oscars is black. And I'm like, Lord, they just put you in there, girl, as a pawn. You know, you ain't got no power. Just sit down, you know. But I don't think it's validation. I think that it's like, can it at least be fair and even ground? There's never been fair and even ground, and that's what I take from that comment. Part of what I take from it. It never will be. It never will be. So I think what people who say, listen, they've never, why do you want their approval, are saying, move the fuck on. We don't need it nor want it. You know what I mean? Let that shit go and let's move on with our shit or whatever. You know, like, it's never going to change. And it has been countless other times when, you know, black folks have not been up. And then when they do give out these Oscars, like with Halle, it was her do something to make me feel good. It was some old funky ass shit. When they gave it to Denzel, it was for being Lonzo. Again, he played the shit out of that part, but he played the shit out of Malcolm X as well. You know what I mean? But another part of that comment was, y'all talk about the BET Awards and talk about it and call it this and call it that, you know, but yet you will go and watch the MTV Awards and these other awards. And that's what resonated with me. And I was like, you know what? That's true. That's true. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is real talk. You know what I mean? Like, that was some shit. Like, message, you know, type of shit. That's real shit. We do have to support it. Yes, it gets annoying. With me, what annoys me the most with the BET Awards is that they have been around for a long. First of all, what annoys me about BET is that it is not black entertainment anymore. Yes, that's what they put on there, but it is not black owned anymore. Second thing is this. It's been around so long. I can remember being a teenager when the shit first came on with Donnie Simpson and shit. When we were so happy that shit was on, because you wasn't going to see shit on MTV. The only little smarkles of black you might see was Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Of course you was glad to see that, but you wanted to see other stuff. What BET opened the door for was for us to see like music we had been popping to. Because I can remember the time that the motherfucking radio stations, like here locally, would go off at a certain time. And then you had to listen to ZW something rocks or some shit. Or whatever. You know, it wasn't, you know, that was it. Theirs stayed on, the FM stayed on 24 hours a day. The AM, which was what we listened to, went off early. So when BET came out, we were so happy to see that shit and see the videos and all of that and see what they was doing. You know what I mean? It was just, child, we were so glad not to be getting that box shit. Y'all know the video box shit, all the songs that you could call in for, and every motherfucker was getting in trouble with their parents because they know they ain't had a business calling. Shit, my ass got in trouble. But I had watched BET from the beginning. And see, at this point, in a way, I feel like, and that could just go back to black folks not supporting it like they should have, because my mindset was this. In a way, like, I'm sure y'all have made coin down. So when it comes to productions, you know, I'm thinking y'all should have all y'all ducks in a row or whatever and have that, and it should be just as nice. But the realness of it is this, is that if people are not supporting it the same, if advertisers are not, you know, willing to put money into that, you know what I'm saying? If people, you know, and the money's not there, then they can only do what they can do. So, you know, maybe that's the reason why it looks the way it looks. So I had to think to myself after that comment, that's true. And we do have to support BET, TV1, you know, at least that, because it's predominantly black shows on it, centric, and so on and so forth, so that we will have, you know, our own thing. And then you're not looking for validation with them. I don't care what no motherfucking say. If we take our motherfucking eyes off of it and stop watching it, oh, it's gonna count. It's gonna count. You know, so I just was like, well, you know, that was really like, that made sense, and that really was a wake-up call. So whether production is up to par, what the fuck ever, I'm going to watch it. What I'm not gonna do though is I'm just not gonna partake in anything that does not fully include us, as far as an award or anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So that was just, you know, kind of what was on my mind. I was like, that was really a good, comment. You know, so I when it comes to Stacey Dash, I think she's just a waste of space. But whatever, however, you know, girl, if that's what makes you, if that's what floats her boat, sorry y'all, then so fucking be it. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, have at it. But I just think that she's ignorant, and for her to say to get rid of BET, get rid of Black History Month, I just don't know how she could say that with a straight motherfucking face. Like, I really don't know how she could do that. Like, real talk, I don't know how she could say that shit. What's it saying? It seems everyone knows something. Oh, okay, I was reading that. I just don't get it. And Lord, we just gonna need to pray for her, because that child is lost. She's just lost. She's lost in the motherfucking sauce. She really is. And just why I'm talking about this, and I just talked about a comment. I had a comment from someone on which video was I talking? Oh, the Real Households of Atlanta. And when I said that, let the men have something, and this and that and other, and I still stand in that. But one person said, well, that's just horrible. The women with their support. I think this might be that old shit, maybe kick it up in my ass, where I'm like, whatever it was, let the men have it. Please let them have it. Jesus. That's not, you know what I'm saying? But I got what, they were saying, but I still feel like, let the men have it. Whether it was the anniversary to the march, whatever it was, let the black men have it, please and thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I got where they were coming from, but I still think, let the black man have that moment, please. Some people felt like, well, black women being supporting, and even though they having a this and that and other, I get that. But let them have their moment. To me, I'm still kind of standing on that. But I get where you're coming from, and we agree to disagree, my love. But I still feel like, let the black man have it, please. And y'all, okay. I am going to, since I am talking about this, I am getting ready to, down in the panty section, y'all gonna see a link, and right about now, y'all need to stop it right now and go and look at this video. It's a Facebook video. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to assume you back from watching it. Okay. So we can be on the same page. There is a disturbing video that's out. There's several disturbing videos. Where this woman she has her children with her. And she's got them, and then I'm assuming it's her ex-husband that's there. Apparently she's upset that the man took the children to go get a haircut, or he cut their hair. She's upset that their hair got cut. And she goes on to say, how can you make this kind of decision? You can see right off that she's bitter, she's hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people going to be like, why, because she's black, she got to be bitter. If you looked at that fucking video and it says that she's anything but bitter and hurt, I maybe I need to look at it about 50 more times to see something else in it. But she's bitter and she's hurt. She wants to know, she gets in the back of his car, stands there with her 2 children, exposes them to that, and she won't let him leave. She wants to know, why would you make this kind of decision to cut their hair and not converse with me? And at first I was like, well, maybe it was their first haircut. Maybe that's why she's mad. But then later on, you hear her mother, who was there with her, say that they just had their haircut. And you want me to send the bill to you? And he's like, yeah, just send me the bill. So apparently they've been getting their haircut. At one point, the mother's like, you could have shaved into their head, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's mad because he didn't gave the kids a mammy-made haircut. Okay. Maybe that's what she's mad about. And then there was this one spot where it looked like he might have nicked one of the babies, kind of got a little bald spot or something. But I didn't hear her say anything about it. Or it could have just been the camera and the way it shifted or whatever. But she is going on and on. The kids have this train running across his car, and he's like, would you please? And he's videotaping this whole shit, which rung a bell to me too, because I know he's videotaping this, because if he does not videotape this, everything that really did happen will not get said, and it will only be her account of it. And they in this, they have shared custody with her being sole custodian of the children. She made that abundantly clear, and all of that. She continued to let them, he was like, could you please not let him put the car on, the train on the car? Like, she wanted all of that to happen. Then, the mother said, oh, he's recording this or taking pictures or whatever. And she said, I'm doing the same thing, And he's doing it, I already know, to protect himself. At one point, she wants some jackets or some shit. Her mother's over there going through her shit and talking about how he's wrong and this and that and other. And the third, and they get the jackets. And she's like, don't ever do that again without consulting me. Then her mother gets to going on and says some shit. Then she walks around the car and says, I'm going to she going to hit him upside the head or whatever. And he's like, Miss So-and-so, don't. This is all being recorded. This bitch is all in his car, wanting to know where the car seats were. The daughter, apparently there was another child in that car. This daughter, her bitter ass, leans in, because all they concerned about is this child and who that child is. That's what's killing her. Leans in and says, what's your name and who's your mother? Now, here's my thing. Now, you got an issue with him cutting his own children's hair. But you don't have issue with the fact that you were, interrogating somebody else's child. First of all, you all in his car had he have done this to you. And I realized when he was like trying to get you away from his car, you instantly said, oh, you touched me, you hurt me, you bruised. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It just stopped recording. But what I was saying was she was all in his car and all that and talking about, and he's merely trying to get her out of his car. Oh, you touched me, you bruised me, and all of that, you hurt me, and this and that and other. You are leaning in there wanting to know who this child is. Now the whole truth comes out. Now I see, okay, I was right. She's hurt. He obviously cheated or has moved on, whatever the case. Listening to the mother, her mother, he cheated or whatever the case. And at one point, the mother was like, you had a girlfriend while you was with her, while you were dating her. And he was like, if I had another girlfriend, I wouldn't have married her ass. Like, with the swiftness. And I can understand. Like, she is just irrational. Like, she's so blinded by her hurt. And I already know that she's one of them meticulous ass, controlling ass, and I can see it out of her mother, and the shit is laid over to her. You already know she's gonna emasculate the fuck out of them boys. And I can just already see her shit. I'm not saying that she's wrong for being hurt, but that was not the place where you do it. You exposed the children to that. At one point, they was crying. And then, at one point, he wanted to give them a kiss and was trying to pick the one little boy up. And she was like, you had your time. Your time is up. It took you an hour and so and so. Like, really? And then folks want to know why some black men will be like, I ain't got no motherfucking time to give. This is why. To me, she was completely wrong. Her mother was wrong. What made her mother think that she was going to go over to this grown-ass man and hit him upside his head because he didn't say what she thought he should say? And then, grandmama, your ass reached and talked about him cheating, and he laid your business out and said, oh, your husband had the woman back in North Carolina, and he just had your whole card. And here's what's funny about it. If he knows about it, he knows about it from your daughter. Yeah, when things was good, she was telling your business and shit. And you was like, I'm not even going to respond. He said, I didn't think you would. And I believe him wholeheartedly. I don't know him, but I just felt like this was ridiculous. And then when he said she said, don't do it again. And he said, I will cut their hair again if they need it. Her mother said, so you threatening her? He said, if they need a haircut, I will give them another haircut. They have shit. What the fuck? Like, look, bitch. Your feelings got hurt. He cheated. He got other children. Then it was a whole debate about why is there 3 car seats in there. Whose child was in what car seat? Why is this one in front? Like, oh my God. Not only is she bitter, his ex-wife, but her motherfucking mama's bitter. Like, this was ridiculous. And this is why men be like, fuck that. A lot of them will be like, fuck it, I don't want to date no damn black woman, because I don't want to deal with this shit. You know, which I disagree totally, you know, with, you know, a lot of them just do it just, you know, they want to put wear and tear on a black woman, and then they want to treat a woman of any other nationality like she is the queen. And they, you know, you get what I'm saying? But then in this case, this man, you know, and I'm sure he cheated or whatever, he got the child, but for you to lean in and integrate this child. Now, if that child's mother come and find your ass and kick your ass, she will be within all her rights. You leaning in there questioning her child. Who's your mother? What's your name? What? These kids have, they don't have no say in who the fuck laid down and had, you know, conceived them. Like, what? So my question is this, and y'all seen the video. I really, and Lord, I hope that, you know, my man will sound off on this shit. I want both. I want to hear both. What was he wrong? You know, what did I miss something? You know, and of course we don't know all of the story. I'm just only speaking on what we saw in the video. Who was the aggressor? What right does she have to get behind this car to keep him from moving? What right does she have, her or her mother, leaning in that car doing that? Or asking that child, questioning that child like that? Because, y'all, I'm sorry. Did y'all see anything other than two bitter bitches? Just, she's bitter as fuck. Because she done got hurt. And she's so bitter, she's blinded. You know, so I don't know, y'all. Y'all leave that shit below. I'm definitely going to, y'all already seen the link or whatever. Leave y'all comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'd have to say, you know, and I understand, and I read a comment that was under there that said, you know, tape everything. Make sure somebody goes with you when you dealing with, you know, ex-wives or baby mothers or whatever like this. Record everything. Take somebody else there as a witness. You know, and I thought there's something going on, the fact that they had to meet up at the police station. Like, I don't know, y'all. Y'all leave y'all thoughts on that. I really want to know, men and women, with, you know, what are your thoughts on this? Was she right? Was she wrong? You know, so let me know, y'all. Much love.